What up, everyone? This is Mr. Lord, Dr. Professor, Dark Joker, here with another edition of Traditional Fans with Opinions, where I'll give my reviews for whoever I watched, read, or played today. And who are traditional fans with opinions? That is myself, and that is you, the viewers. With all that being said, on with the reviews. The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch, Season 6, Episode 14, and full season. So basically, in this one, after the final experiment, everyone gathers, they meets with Brandon Fugel and some other people to basically recap, the season, all stuff with ceramics, the bubble, and all that. Basically, recap everything, see what they could come up with for next season, assuming they get a next season. Yeah, because I don't know if there's been a renewal yet. But I hope it does. I like to see this stuff get developed more. So yeah, I like this episode. I like how they went over everything. They explained, all sorts of ceramics. I still wanted to just blow up the mesa and see what happens. But yeah, we're getting something. It may take a while, but it looks like we might be finally getting something. As far as full season, I like this season. That was fine. So yeah, I really like this season. Hopefully, we get another season. Reborn as a vending machine, I now wander the dungeon. Season 2, Episode 10. So in this one, the village holds like a festival. Since there's like some time of peace for her. But then the festival basically ends up being like a beauty pageant. So Shui, Hulimi, and Lamis are convinced to compete since the grand prize is basically a bunch of free tickets for food from Boxo, and because they're tricked into thinking that Shirley, who's like basically like so that Shirley, if she wins, will try like basically they say that they're lied to that Shirley will try to flirt with Boxo, and out jealousy they decide to enter. So they enter. They have the intro thing where they just wear the regular clothes, then they have to wear whatever they want. Boxo gives them some magazines to they can figure out what to wear for like the talent where it's like a combined talent show and like yeah. So they do all this stuff. Lamis ends up winning after Shirley drops out due to she only entered to get people to watch, but she didn't care about winning. So Lamis wins. Now then, so there are the prize is outside that is the special suit shoes. You know, provided by like the local rich girl, and then I can't remember her name. Then Heavy recognizes him and asks about him, and it seems that they're there's special artifacts that's known. Heavy, some reason, is interested in them, and I don't think it's because he's into shoes. It seems to be a darker reason behind what he's into those shoes for. So yeah, I really liked this episode. Like saying, I thought it was funny, like the humor in it. So yeah, I really like this one. Looking forward to the next one. Clevatess episode 10. So in this one, um, Flynn is trying to use Luna to access the forge where he comes across the headless king, who's like holding the head of the dead king. Yeah. Then while it's going on, Alicia's fighting Drell, and Drell reveals that he was friends with Alicia's father, Margot, and this leads to a flashback where Margot was trained by Drell, and during a duel where they would compete to see who would become the next hero. Margot won. And then, so Margot gets this sword and he has to kill something with it so he can absorb its power or something. So he decides to challenge a northern dragon. Drell goes with Margot, and a bunch of people are killed. Margot loses his leg, and Drell then defeats the dragon. But then Vordian, the Dark Beast Lord of the North, appears before Drell, and he wakes up in a bloody footprint, possibly resurrected. Then Drell grew very disillusioned, realized that basically that all the stuff about heroes that the people were told is a lie. And yeah, so I thought this was a good episode. I like what they're saying with Drell. Okay, they're gradually building up the world with setting up some stuff with the nobles, also the heroes, the whole standard hero versus demon lord thing. So yeah, I really like this episode. I'm interested in what they develop with Drell, what they develop with Forge, how this story goes. Yeah, I really like this episode. Looking forward to the next one. New Saga, episode 10. So in this one, Kyle snaps off one of the male demon's horns, which is an insult to demons, so Kyle calls a truce to have a duel in 3 days over the sword and the you know over the sword and the horn, and also if the humans win, basically demons will give them intel on the demons. So such as which demons have infiltrated human society. So Miranda go, they're happy to see Gaz's alive, and showing that Gaz's real that Bax threatened Miranda to get him to ignored kidnapping of Quran citizens. And Kyle gets Gaz's to let Theron keep Rand. And then he gives Grand Gaz's mithril from Sidonia's labyrinth to make an item he might need for the duel. And Kyle asks Theron to kill both demons if he loses the duel, just in case. And Sidonia then transfers some magic from the demon circle into the Kyle's divine dragon heart, and shown that the Earthmoon Skeleton wouldn't have helped, the mine anyway, because there's nothing left, no ore left. So 3 days later, Kyle starts the duel. He has to go to different locations since there'll be multiple fights. So Urza and Lise are fight the female, and female gets very overconfident and takes a gut punch. That seemingly it knocks her down, so possibly she's defeated. Then, basically, Kyle and the male get to their location for their duel, and that's how it ends. So yeah, I really like this episode. I like what they're how they're setting up the demons. I'm interested in how these duels will end up going. So yeah, I really like what they're setting up. So yeah, I really like this episode. Looking forward to the next one. Rising of the Shield Hero, Season 4, Episode 9. So in this one, Alphame's group still trying to set up stuff to get Raftalia recognized as the Emperor. And, while going all that, Alpheme comes across this girl named Zodia who basically acts kind of annoying. And then, yeah, so Then there's whole deal with Philo's declaring the divine bird to help Talia's claim because a folial with a similar like color scheme and feathers had done did a lot for Quinlo, making it a divine bird. And then yeah, so it's a decent series, obviously like you had the whole deal with Ichigo, like the village he was at was attacked, possibly. And yeah, you just see Naofumi just dealing with this random girl being very annoyed. But yeah, I want to see like more fighting stuff with Quinlo, like see more like combat. So like, hey, let's see what happens. Overall, I liked this episode. I thought it was decent. I'm looking forward to the next one. Future Nube 2025 episode 10. So in this one, um, so we see like this whole like yeah, we see like the rich kid in the class like flashback of his like of him seeing some like a little like jingle about his mother lifting him with her umbrella while he's carrying around his umbrella. He loses the umbrella years later. He basically doesn't respect his belongings. He throws stuff he feels he doesn't need, gets new stuff, and basically his parents spoil him. Yeah. And so he's later attacked by a Tsukiyomi. Then, he, the two like main classmates, and Noob see like I think it's like the Tsukiyomi ninth parade. And so with he's captured by the Tsukiyomi of the umbrella, it's revealed that the Tsukiyomi just wanted to thank him. Say bye and all that. So he does. He has a chance to do that. He cries. So then he could basically the kid like goes back to his house. Looks like so. Yeah, I like this episode. That was interesting how they handled the Tsukiyomi. I've seen some people bring up like Dachi Akuda because of the recent show. I can understand those comparisons. Except the humans aren't the ones giving the power in this. I mean, it's a little different. But yeah, I really like this episode. You know, it's interesting. Like, you have a rich kid dealing with, like, yeah, he's so rich he can get rid of belongings very quickly. And, okay, let's see what happens when he actually, cares about an object. Yeah, all that, I really like this episode. Looking forward to the next one. Blue Exorcist, chapter 161. So in this one, we see, like, Renzo fight, like, this member of the Illuminati who had recruited him, who also has the Black Flame. So, like, yeah, this character named Homer, like, also has Black Flame, and you know, kind of has issues with Renzo because Renzo admitted he's there to be a spy. But yeah, interesting. Obviously the fight's not concluded, but you see like them fighting. You see some characters reacting to it. But yeah, I'm interested to see how this fight goes. So I really like this one. Look forward to the next one. And that's it. Did y'all like the stuff I reviewed? And if you have your own opinions about all that, you can put all that in the comments. Thank you for watching, and like, subscribe, and all that. And look forward to the next video.